All right. For those of you who listened to the last conversation between Theresa, Ohrn, and I, you know somewhat what it's like to try to get heard. Does she know anything about the Andrew Wellness situation? No. What does she know about the abuse that I endure? Nothing. The things that I was able to get out, that she didn't talk over, the things that she said, completely and totally dismissed. That's not what a friend does. Dang, I got too many hairs going the wrong direction. Theresa Ohrn, if she doesn't get her way, just like we taught every woman in America, when a man, you say, oh, I care, and then you tell him to do a bunch of stuff by himself. The only people who can do stuff by themselves that way are women. Men are not allowed. If we got lots of money, maybe we'll be heard. If we got a house, maybe we'll be heard. You don't that I'm homeless. You don't care. Theresa Ohrn literally lied through that entire conversation. But also, I got her to admit it. That's pretty important, isn't it? I've known Theresa Ohrn about 40 years. Almost 40 years. She was my babysitter when I was like 4 years old, I think. Sorry, I'm checking to see how much of a charge I'm getting on my electronics in here. So let's go over the last few days, right? Theresa Ohrn finally called me to pretend that she cares, but she don't. We got our first troll on this channel, on this here video, calling themselves K, typed egghead. What do we do with these people? Well, we get these assholes off my channel. You see how easy that was? What are the chances that I'm actually going to get heard instead of typed over this entire video? Let's talk about Holly. There's been a lot of Hollies on my channel, people who come to my channel and type at me. Now, the problem here isn't that Theresa, before Natalie was killed, Theresa used to be my babysitter back in like 1984, 1985. Before I went into the system. Now, she wants to always, parents want to bring up their children, right? Always. Oh, we got a restricted number calling. These guys love doing this when I'm making a video. Holly, you're probably used to this by now on my channel. Restricted call. Theresa doesn't care about those. It's not that I wasn't trying to tell her, it's that she's got some meme that's gonna fix everything. And if that doesn't work, then she gets shitty and condescending towards me because her meme didn't fix it. And women are taught to be this way towards men, and men are taught to be this way towards men. I gotta come to YouTube and tell the truth in the hopes that somebody will actually care that I'm telling the truth. Will actually look at the evidence and speak up that the evidence is actually there. I guess we should probably do this the right way and go back to the beginning, though, huh? There was a guy named Fred, and he was married to Theresa Ohrn. So what happened with that? Well, he died. It happens. Now, a lot of really mean about Natalie. Of course, the moment I apply those to her and Fred, she gets very angry and very and tells me, oh, she lived in Colorado with Fred, and Fred died. And she was lonely and alone. And I didn't have any friends. Of course, she said, hey, come visit me. I need a friend too. I need a So on multiple occasions, we set a time and day allotted to go see her. And when I got there, she was a no-call, no-show all times but one. The one time that she wasn't a no-call, no-show, she called me to tell me that she was too drunk to come pick me up. The other time, she was slurring her speech. Now, Holly did notice seemed like she was drunk and sounded like she was drunk. Well, that's because she was. It's the way it was when Natalie died too, and before. Anyway, the situation with Natalie. When a disabled person is being harmed, we have to go to a friend or family member for help. Theresa couldn't stop whining and pining about her dead husband. And I don't hate her for that. Not even close. But she literally never heard anything that I said because it all comes around to her dead husband, her dead husband, her dead husband. Always with the negativity. Oh, I can't do anything, I can't do anything. The patriarchy, blah, blah, blah. No, the reality is, a lot of us fought hard. A lot of us fought hard for you to have rights. And you kick us for it. So Theresa just ignored me. And I didn't hardly know her daughter Brandy. Then Natalie died. And Brandy got a hold of me, and Brandy really didn't have anything nice at all to say about Theresa. Okay, she didn't have anything nice to say about Theresa. But they both said they'd help me. They both said they'd listen, and, well, both of them talked over me and typed over me. Just like Theresa didn't care about all of the efforts that I made to go see her when she said that she was going to leave for Wisconsin. She didn't care what kind of an effort I made. She was too busy in the bottom of a goddamn bottle. After Natalie was killed, I needed help showing the truth because people were harming me. They were assaulting me. And Theresa, yeah, she didn't want to hear that. Oh, that's negative. No, it's what people are doing to me. And you want to ignore it because you want to talk about your dead husband again, which he did repeatedly. And it wasn't just Theresa doing that. Everyone did that. They all had these ideas in their head of what the quick fix was for a situation that they had literally ignored. Not a single one of my friends made a single effort to address the actual abuse, ever. The closest I ever got was here, with Jared Scudder over the situation with Tyler Crabtree, and recently with turning in the protection order with Candy from the Safeway. But as far as the safety issues with the police go, nobody has addressed that. I'm a homeless man. Like I've been saying from the start, all people have to do is call me mentally ill, and anything that they've done to me is magically okay. Must be a figment of my imagination. I must have made it up. Holly made the observation that Theresa sounded drunk. Well, yeah. Most of these people, when they make the time to care about me, it's only when they're drunk. Before Natalie died, there was a woman named Kayla Trujillo, and she was gonna help me. But the one she was gonna listen, she was too drunk to do so anyway. All of those times she claimed she was gonna listen. Just like her and Shannon Alvarado, Theresa Ohrn also talked over everything I said, had some dismissive comment for everything that I said. When I tried to tell her about the abuse, she wants to stop me and tell me some story about her dead husband. She wants me to, oh, poor me, I was going through this at the time, and I was going through that at the time. You know what? She's literally found zero time to find out what I've been going through. Now you can hear in that conversation with Theresa how I'm trying to tell her what's going on. And even if I did get to say it without her talking literally over the top of it as I said it, she talked over it by dismissing it outright, interrupting in the middle of it, trying to claim some pretty mean, well, fix it. You said pretty words, so the problem goes away in Teresa's mind. No, only, how did that woman put it? Only pretty white girls have that luxury. Now, Teresa's not pretty anymore. She's old. She's 53. She's old. But she was young once. After Natalie was killed, when there was an actual reporter that was willing to talk to me and willing to listen, during the period of time that was allotted to talk to that reporter, Theresa called me up. She wanted to talk about her dead husband again. This is the 4th time since Natalie was killed that she'd done that. 8 times overall. Just wanted to talk about her dead husband and tell me how to think and feel and go, oh, Shauna, oh, sweetie, oh, honey, shut the fuck up. That's condescending bullshit. That's manipulation. That's not fucking listening. Telling me how to think. Oh, you shouldn't think of it that way. When somebody punches me in the face and I go to my friends and family for help and they talk over me, I shouldn't see it as them talking over me, right? I shouldn't see that as dismissive, right? So what did I do? Well, because of the slander that I needed Theresa Ohrn to know that I was being harmed over, or any one of the people who claimed to care about me. This is what makes Theresa a predator. Pretending to care. If you actually care about someone, you stop and you listen to them when they tell you they're being abused. You don't make excuses not to try. You don't blow it off until later and just keep on blowing it off again and again and again, like Candace did here. 5 months before she lifted a goddamn finger to help turn in any of the abuse. Theresa Ohrn's literally never made an effort. She doesn't even know that abuse is going on because I say the word abuse and she's already starting to talk over me. She's not listening to understand, and none of you listen to understand when it's a man. Literally, if we want to be heard instead of talked over, we have to yell. We have to scream. We have to curse. We have to treat you the way that you women treat us. And then you start up with the name calling. Oh, and it's not condescending, right? It's never condescending. You're not actually name calling. No, you are. And being passive aggressive. Oh, how dare men be passive aggressive, right? Before Natalie died, Theresa could have done something to help, but she was too busy feeling sorry for herself. after Natalie was killed, she was still too busy feeling sorry for herself. She wanted me to automatically be over a situation that to this day I'm still enduring physical assaults over, still enduring financial fucking destruction over. I have been ripped off by every single agency I've had to go to, and so have you. These are your tax dollars that pay my disability money, that I paid all these different places that don't do anything when I'm abused. Why am I going to them alone? Because Theresa Ohrn can't do anything but talk about her dead husband, talk about her kids. While drunk. That's when she's going to make the time. After Theresa called me that fourth time, Starbucks was just about to close. I'm almost out of battery. And I'm needing that time to actually get someone who's actually going to help me, because literally everyone is doing what Theresa's doing. They're calling me when they're drunk. They're calling me when they're stoned. They're talking over me, telling me what to do, what to think, what to feel, telling me I should try to look at it from other people's point of view. Fuck you, I did. You're literally making no effort to look at it from my point of view because you're literally talking over me. Not a woman that I have met in my lifetime will allow a man to do what we're supposed to do as adults when somebody is doing something that is hurtful to us. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to go to that person and we're supposed to tell them that what they did hurt us and why, how it makes us feel. How well did that work with Natalie Bollinger? When I went to Natalie Bollinger and I said, hey, Natalie, you pretending that I stalked you has resulted in people harming me, assaulting me, threatening my life, and I can't see my loved ones in Boulder, Colorado because of it. She didn't want to hear it. No woman is willing to hear that she did something wrong. She'll say, oh, I admit when I do stuff wrong. But, of course, then it's some ambiguous friend off in the middle of nowhere that, oh, well, I just talked to such and such friend of mine and, I was wrong in a situation and I admitted it. No, you didn't. You made somebody up and it's fucked up. Fucked up. So Theresa Ohrn, with me taking abuse and me having friends like her that again and again and again would not hear my words, and I had to try to get help from her daughter, who would not hear my words. So I had to show that publicly. And when I showed it publicly, the situation with Theresa Ohrn and her alcoholism, Theresa and her daughter ganged up on me in the most brutal fashion they possibly could. They went out of their way to try to bully and berate me in the most inhumane fashion. And the whole time typing LOL, 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 because every goddamn thing is funny to these women. The pain of a male is a fucking joke to these women. They enjoy it. And again today, same thing. Theresa pulling the same shit. She doesn't have the luxury of having Brandy Copen on her side. Her daughter can't fucking stand her. Every single time that Theresa claimed that she was going to call me and listen, it ended up being her calling me to talk over me about her dead husband. Not okay. I suppose I should probably see who needs hidden on this channel at this point in time. Doesn't look like any. Cooler dude is typing some odd stuff, but I guess welcome to the channel, everybody. Holly typed, I was in the same situation with my utterly useless ex. Won't chime in again. It's alright. You know, once in a while, putting something small in there like that, that's alright. It's people constantly going out of their way to be as disheartening as possible. Like, there's a legal route. It's an easy route to take. It's the easiest route to take, but none of these people will try it. None of these people will try writing it down and turning it in with the victim. Someone calling themselves Casey something or other is trying to get ejected from my channel. So let's see if the next comment gets them that way. So, after Theresa Ohrn and her daughter decided to go out of their way to literally try to push me to suicide, knowing exactly what they're doing, and every one of you women know this. Holly, you can admit this too. You know it. Women aren't stupid, are they, Holly? See, that's one thing that I get to hear out of men all the time is how stupid women are. And I get to hear out of women all the time how stupid men are. No, we're both stupid for calling the other gender stupid. That's an assumption there. Holly types, some are. That's right, some are. Here, she'll play stupid. And that's your hint to leave. That is your hint to leave. You don't wait until she starts playing victim to leave. By that point, it's already too late. She's already got you by the balls, and she's already well entrenched in destroying your life. So you leave the moment she starts playing victim. Most of the time, that will save your ass. But not always. When Natalie Bollinger was embarrassed and pretended that I stalked her, all of the evidence showed that we were friends up until that point. That she invited me to Virginia and pressured me to go to Virginia. It shows that she thought she was in love with me. Now, this is all stuff that Theresa Ohrn doesn't know because she can't stop talking about her dead husband and assuming the worst. She wanted to tell me, oh, well, you shouldn't to Montana see that girl. Like, Montana? No, I went to Virginia. And I did it because she was going to kill herself. Now, how many times have I tried to tell Theresa that? Why doesn't she retain any of that? For the same reason Shannon Alvarado doesn't. It's called alcohol. All right. Apparently Casey is getting blocked from my channel. This next comment is not very useful. Holly types she wrecked her car. Yeah, 4 times actually. Just so you know, restricted calls all day long. Here's another one. Now, does Theresa care that this is going on? No. Does she care about the assaults that I endure over and over again? No, she doesn't. What do Theresa Ohrn and Natalie Bollinger have in common? They were both selfish because they were fucked up. Natalie with drugs and Theresa with alcohol. Both of them, of course. Their gateway drug was trauma for both Theresa Ohrn and Natalie. But the decisions were horrible decisions, and they were made while they were on drugs and or alcohol. And of course, there's always the excuse that, like, Theresa wants to use. What's the excuse Theresa used? Oh, I was really messed up at the time. I was having a rough time. Yeah, I know. But what makes it an excuse is that you don't come forward about it. You tell me that, and I'm supposed to pretend everything is fine and dandy. I haven't gone through all of this hell. I haven't gone through all of this harm. All right, so we have Holly. I'm sure you can see these people on my channel that I have to get rid of. If you could take some screenshots and send them in. The fact is that this isn't what YouTube is supposed to be for. This isn't where I should have to go to show this at. Someone calling himself Jay's Photographing is getting deleted for being a racist punk. So, what are we doing with Tristan? We're kicking him off my channel too. He just typed shut up way too many times. All right, and then see, hide this other racist. Now, Cooler Dude and Holly, you see that? You get to see these things with your own two eyes. No matter where I go, these people do this non-stop, and that's why I beg you to listen one-on-one. I have to deal with this everywhere I go. I go to YouTube, I have to deal with it. I have a phone, I have to deal with it. I go to my car, I have to deal with it. I'm in my car, I have to deal with it. Abuse, literally everywhere I go. Someone called himself high sigma typed. What was he typing? Blue is wild. Put some dubs in the chat for Tristan. He also typed shut up and yo MB and how am I racist? You were saying shut up. Yeah. The guy who was going over and over and over again doing that was not Sigma, it was that Tristan feller. Anyway, you guys get to see there how just a little bit of typing and there's a disagreement and an argument over some. Was it because Sigma and Cooler Dude 123 are hateful, evil, bigoted bastards that are looking for an opportunity to go at each other's throats? No, it's because they're frustrated too. The guy who got on here to be a bully is gone now. Dubs used in my day, bro. It's used dubs. You're giving them kudos. It's a positive thing. And for some people, it has a different connotation altogether. Matter of fact, exactly the opposite. Dubs is considered bad bling, wasteful, harmful, useless, showy, gaudy. So when Sigma typed dubs, I wasn't sure which way to take it. For you, the era that you grew up in, dubs might be considered a good thing, like kudos. And it may come across as if Sigma was trying to say that that dude being a douchebag was okay. Right now, of course, doesn't stop ever, just over and over and over again. Now, who is it that's doing this? The guy who keeps assaulting me. The guy that Theresa Ohrn doesn't give a shit about. Because if you listen to that conversation between myself and Theresa Ohrn, you realize not once does she ever focus on the abuse that I'm enduring. Not once. Every single time she changes them, shows that she didn't care what I had to say. Holly typed, "Hi, Jesus." Jesus ain't on here. Caden typed, "What language do you speak?" Someone calling himself Onion typed, "Get them goblins out of my house. Help me, please." Holly typed, "I speak Ebonics." Jake VR typed, "You are not scary." Roar! Yes, I am. I'm a big scary bear. Onion typed, "The green man once made a deal with me. I didn't comply. Now I need to pay." So what do we do with that guy? We do what we do with all these trolls. Hide user on this channel. Jesus Christ, that dude's gone. How easy was that? Holly typed, "No such thing. There are plenty of Jesus, though. Big scary bear." Yep. I don't need people condescending and tell me, "You need help. You need help." Yeah, I know I need help. But what are you insinuating versus what help do I need? Now, if you type up my gamer tag on here, doggedroman at gmail.com, then you and I can communicate one-on-one. Holly type, "Guys, let Sean tell his story." Holly, that hasn't worked in 7 years. I'm not sure if you noticed, but most of these guys are very familiar with what they're doing. They don't care about other human beings. They have no respect for human life. Just like Theresa, they don't care to hear my story. They're too busy with quick quips. They're too busy judging without the information needed to pass judgment. To this day, I still have people who pretend that I killed Natalie. I have to worry every time that Alicia gets fucked up on drugs and disappears again. The people are going to get a hold of me to start threatening to kill me and my friends and family again. Not that they ever stopped. Now with Theresa Ohrn, after her and her daughter went out of their way, after Natalie died, through all the abuse that I had to endure, and all she could do is talk about her dead husband and whine and cry and whine. When I'd try to speak, she had some other story about Fred that she wanted to tell. Or she wanted to do the, "Poor me, poor me, poor me, I lost my husband." Sean, you have no idea. You didn't lose your husband. And then, of course, when you say, "Hey, we've spent a whole hour focusing on you. Can I please be heard?" "Oh, Sean, you're just being selfish." And then it's followed by the condescending cruelty that we've taught all women. When you do something fucked up to a man, yeah, you goat him and prod him and push him. And then type LOL, LOL, LOL. You type the meanest, most condescending things that you can. You go out of your way to be as mean as you possibly can. And then, oh, poor me, I didn't do anything wrong. Theresa made it abundantly clear that she was just going to play head games. That she wasn't going to take any responsibility for her actions or her decisions. That she didn't care how her cruelty resulted in me being harmed for all of these years. And it's not just her. Any one of my friends could have spoken up with me. But nearly all of them have that feeling sorry for themselves thing going on. Holly typed, did she have a fire at her house before? So we got this person calling himself Jamal Fart. Now, how many times have these people come onto my channel doing this stuff? I'm sure you have been taking a look, Miss Holly. Does Theresa care? No. Has Theresa ever bothered to take a look? No. Has Theresa ever bothered to listen to it? No. What she did is her and her daughter went out of their way in 2018 after they did the most fucked up thing that they could and wasted as much of my time as they possibly could and were demeaning and demanding at the same time. You do what I want or I will treat you like shit is the message that they sent. Well, they don't like their own medicine. They don't like being treated the way that they treated me. I spoke up publicly, and that's why Theresa and Brandy decided to be so cruel. I spoke up publicly about the fact that Theresa wasn't trying to help me at all. She couldn't get off her dead husband. So recently, Theresa called me drunk to talk over me, as always. To dismiss everything I have to say, as always. To make it, as always, about her. She doesn't care that people like this have been doing this nonstop for 7 years. The video, when you first come to my channel, it's called Law Enforcement at its Finest. That's from 4 years ago. It's a video much like this one, restricted call after restricted call, but it's also got people in that video who want to put my little sister's life at risk. Holly typed, he was terrible. My ex, Jason Jordan, typed, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you have a good day, though. Holly typed, let's all give Sean a group hug. Dexter's disciple typed, you sound gay. Well, you know what? Maybe she is gay. Is there a problem with gay people? I don't think so. I think it's okay to be gay. If you're saying I sound gay, that's fine. I still think it's okay to be gay. Am I gay? No. Am I straight? No. I'm just not interested. Someone calling themselves Wendy Martinez is showing themselves to be a bully. Now you can see this. There's a whole bunch of stuff on here, Holly, that doesn't have anything to do with the abuse that I'm going through. Henley Thompson typing, how old are you? Does that help me at all? Is that listening to my experience? No, it's not. Is that helping me to get the word out? Is it looking at evidence? No, it's not. Is it hearing my experience, or is it making it about her questions? Well, as always, it'll be about answering their questions. Every new person coming to my channel wants a recap. So I have to stop to try to explain to somebody from the start how all this ended up happening. But they're not busy focusing on what I'm saying. They're busy focusing on the curiosities in their head, the assumptions that they made. And of course, they're going to interrupt me to tell me, oh, well, I thought this and I thought that. And for me, that's overwhelming. You assumed. And those assumptions, until you can drop your assumptions and listen to my experience, we are both hobbled by your assumptions. And Theresa Ohrn, like most of you, believes that the help that I need is advice because I'm retarded. Holly typed, hi. We got a guy calling himself Maddox typing, you are gay, ha ha. Wow, at least Maddox has something in common with Theresa Ohrn. Bully call names and say ha ha ha. Well, you know what? I called Theresa Ohrn names back and she didn't like it. Holly typed, Sean, don't look at chat. It'll distract. I know it does, and that's why it's important to help. How willing to help if I don't have the chat open for them to contact me. Also, Holly calling him an idiot isn't going to help. He already knows. How many times has he typed you're gay over and over again? This person calling themselves Maddox, getting on here just wanting to be mean. That thing that sucks about being a disabled adult. Needing help because we're disabled. I'm capable of being mean back. Theresa Ohrn called me after literally ignoring me for 6 years, beginning of 2018 until, yesterday. And the first thing she did is talk over me, dismiss it, and she'd yell over me, snap at me, berate me, and and talk at me like I'm a retarded puppy. Oh, Shauner, you know we love you. Don't tell me you love me if you don't. Somebody calling themselves Twins Perkins type. I'm going to donate 1,000 to 1,000 what? If you claim you're going to send me $1,000, there ain't no way to send it to me because I don't have help setting that up. And those of you who have those things already set up, it doesn't even occur to you that there are people that can't do things that you take for granted every day. Take, for example, how difficult it is for me to just have enough charge on my battery to be able to make the phone calls that I need to make. I don't have any friends to talk to in real life, so I come to my YouTube channel and I talk here. I have to use my phone for my communication. I have to use it for my entertainment. I have to use it to distract myself from the hell that I have to endure. I have to use it to record evidence and to save evidence. Now, through all this cruelty and meanness, what do we have here? We've got Cooler Dude 123 starting to try to see me as a person, and we got Holly who kind of sort of is documenting stuff. But none of that gets me heard by the courts. None of it stops the abuse. None of it stops the assaults. None of it gets me a friend or family member in person who actually cares. Let's talk about the things that Theresa Ohrn and her daughter did back in the day that really fucked me up. They wanted to bully me because their shitty suggestions didn't work. They didn't work because I didn't have the ability without a friend or family member going in with me. They wanted to say, oh, I believe you, but how can you believe anything that I say when you're dismissing everything I say or talking over everything I say and talking about yourself? So you say you believe me. What does she do? She talks over me day before yesterday. When I talk about her husband and her kids. A lot of people have a bad habit of doing that. When I talk about how people are harming me because I'm autistic, you are just going to talk over the actual experience and the actual abuse by saying your son is autistic. I knew that already. Now can we get back to the important part, which is acknowledging that I am being abused and that I cannot stop it because of that abuse. That abuse has cut me off from my resources. It has cut me off from being able to communicate with my friends one-on-one. It has cut me off from being able to see my friends and family in person. A lot of people are dead while we have these trolls who want to get on my YouTube channel and do exactly what the officers do. Take a look, Holly. Take a look at what the bullies are doing right now. Take a look at what these trolls are doing on my channel. The same things that people like Wolnez do in real life. The same things that people like Officer Martinez do in real life. The same things that Officer Hammond does in real life. Holly, if you look through my videos with all of these people that I call predators, you can see all of them doing exactly what these trolls are doing. Some of these trolls that are harassing me right now could very well be in Tillamook, Oregon, because many of them have been from Tillamook, Oregon. Many of the people that are recorded here in Tillamook, Oregon committing crimes against me made accounts just to get on here and harass me. Call me names, bully me. Gaslighting. A whole bunch of gaslighting. And I want you to think about this. Holly, I want you to think trying to get heard. And the fact that the problems here on YouTube are the least of my worries. The trolls on my YouTube channel are the least of my worries. The trolls on my YouTube channel aren't the ones in real life assaulting me, beating on me, beating on my vehicle in most situations. But it's unrelenting. Why do I record live on YouTube? Because none of my friends care. None of my friends are going to make the call and say, this is happening to him, and it is not going to be tolerated. Not to him or anyone else like him. You do not get to treat human beings the way that you treat Sean Schwartz. But you guys instead are going to tell me you're sorry. That's the difference between caring because you love somebody and having ulterior motives. If you care because you love somebody, you don't want them to be harmed. And you're going to do everything that you can right fucking now to make sure it does not happen to that person ever again. And that's not the mentality any of you take. So despite the fact that this was supposed to be about explaining the situation with Theresa, you get to see how the trolls open it up for their version of fun. What's their version of fun? Bullying me and typing LOL. Being condescending and typing LOL. Ha ha. LOL. Oh, you deserve it. You're a psycho. Ha ha. LOL. You know, I had my own stuff going on at the time, Sean. Yeah. It's fucked up part two. Theresa kept calling me, demanding my attention, and telling me she's just trying to help by talking over me and talking about her dead husband. So yesterday, she sends me a message telling me nobody gives a fuck about Natalie Bollinger. She died years ago. People do give a fuck about Natalie Bollinger. At least they care about the story being told. And they didn't stop telling it years ago. They made an A&E special about it. Meanwhile, Theresa wanted to throw stuff in my face that wasn't true. Stuff that she could have found out wasn't true years ago. Things that she did know were untrue years ago because I told her. Oh wait, but that's not knowledge, is it? She's just gonna talk over me and second guess everything I say. She doesn't know anything about this shit because she hasn't bothered to look or listen. It's all about her. She doesn't care about my questions or care about my experience. She cares about answering her questions, and she's asking very specifically only questions that she thinks will justify her being a fucking cunt. Theresa Ohrn may not be responsible for Natalie's death, but she is absolutely responsible for any and all abuse that I've endured since. Not just her, but every person who claimed to be my friend before Natalie was killed. Every person that I went to for help before Natalie was killed. Every person who demeaned me, diminished me, talked over me, and made me feel like shit for even trying. Me. When they claimed to fight before Natalie was killed. Natalie know about the assaults? Yes, I fucking did. When you guys want to say, oh, Sean, you're a horrible person for calling her a cunt. Why did I call her a cunt? Why do I call any of you cunts? Because something you did got someone harmed or killed. Killed. You making it about you instead of listening to me gets people killed. And you literally talking over me, letting me know that no matter what I'm going through, it is unimportant to you. And then you're going to tell me that you care. No, you don't. It's unimportant to you. It fills up some time and space when you're bored. You're less bored at this point in time. So sure, you'll take the time to pretend to listen. And that's how it is with everyone. When you're a disabled homeless male out on the streets, even other homeless people take advantage of you. And you're told it's your fault, you chose it. When a woman pretends like you might harm her, people actually harm you. So while I was trying to turn in actual abuse, Natalie and her friends were playing make-believe. Just like Theresa Ohrn wants to play make-believe. Listen to that conversation with me and Theresa. Does it really sound like she was interested in helping? No, what she wanted to make was ultimatums. She bounced back and forth between different manipulation tactics on some stuff that's pretty important, but immediately when she started speaking, she showed that she hadn't heard any of what I said. She was just one and waiting for her turn. She kindly got sick of waiting and started talking over me again as always. See, when you ask these trolls on my channel to stop, you got to see what they did. Holly, they typed a whole bunch, and a whole bunch of them joined in. So Teresa doesn't care about the cruelty that I go through. The police pretend that this abuse only exists online and that it's my fault for speaking up about it. How many of you are going to call in these places with, and instead of saying, oh, well, we'll make a phone call in 6 weeks, you say you'll make one tomorrow or the next day, but you're always busy. 6 weeks from now, you might make one phone call with me. And after the phone call's over, you've not found out anything that's going on. But you're going to make decisions for me about who we're going to call. We're going to make one phone call. You're going to rush me through it. And you don't know anything, so you're not going to speak up. And then when that phone call's over, you're done. You might promise some more, but you're not going to show up for another 6 to 8 weeks if you show up. And if you're Theresa Ohrn, it'll be 7 years. I guess Holly must have left. It happens. So let's make sure that we get some of these bullies off my channel. Nope, Holly must have left. All Teresa was going to do was talk about herself. A lot of these people are angry that their personal details are what's on the internet. Well, they obviously wanted to talk about themselves rather than listen to me. So rather than my situation being on the internet, it's their excuses that are on the internet. Has she heard any of that? No, she hasn't. And she's not gonna. She's just gonna be condescending and bullying as always. So what do? The only thing I could. She wanted to yell at me repeatedly and talk over me and accuse me of yelling, so what did I do? I yelled by recording. Because we're not allowed to tell you that something that you're doing is harmful, wrong, or destructive. You're not going to let us. You already that what you've done is harmful, wrong, and destructive because you've already set up and prepared excuses. They're shitty excuses. They wouldn't hold up in court, but god damn it, it's what you're going to throw at me and literally just talk over me so that say is heard by you. And because you didn't hear it, you didn't do anything wrong. Any of you going to help put up to this? No, you're not. You're going to tell me to do this and tell me to do that, literally not helping me to do those things, just telling me to. And that's what you call help when it's a man. Fuck this goddamn country. And everyone in it. That you would actually mess so that I don't have to do things this way. Are any of you going to help put a stop to this? Are you even going to stop to understand how that prevents me from doing anything for myself? That's just one of literally hundreds of roadblocks. And you are going to offer what? If you offer to help, you're going to offer to help with one of those roadblocks, and you won't do squat for 6 months if you do anything. I'm hoping Holly's different, but none of these people have shown themselves to be different. Their idea of helping me is to literally go out of their way to do everything that destroys a person's chance of stopping abuse. If I was your brother, your sister, your mother, your cousin, is this how you'd treat them if they were being abused and came to you for help? If you offered to help them stop abuse and then all you did is talk over them, how long do you expect them to keep coming back to you for help? Knowing full well that you're never going to. Alright, I'm gonna end the video. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and your sister's keeper too, and no victim left behind.